With other news from the Western region, JoyNews is learning that a suspect being held for the kidnapping of 3 girls in Takrady has started giving the police some leads on the whereabouts of the girls. Samuel Udotek Wales is also assuring that the girls are alive. Here's a report by correspondent Natalia Kwanza.
The latest information came from a visit by the Minister for Gender and Social Protection, Cynthia Morrison. The suspect, Samuel Udotek Wales, since his arrest has refused to speak and led the police on a wild goose chase. But after her visit to the home of one of the girls, Priscilla Mantibia Kranche, the gender minister, told the media the suspect is now cooperating.
I have been working together with the police. I am here today to find out how you're doing and also let you know we are working around the clock on the issue. The suspect has led police officers to another place.
The minister had been giving some hope to Priscilla's family. The 15-year-old student of secondary college was kidnapped on the 21st of December last year at Nkrofo Junction, as well as the 2 others, Priscilla Bintum and Ruth Quayson. Cynthia Morrison said the assurance that the victims are alive came from Director General of the CID, Deputy Commissioner of Police Mami Tiwa Adadankwa.
I asked if the girls are alive. I am told they are. So we will continue to pray that God will touch the hearts of the people keeping them so they won't harm them. Shouldn't think we are not doing anything about it.
JoyNews is also learning a team of investigators from the United States of America and the United Kingdom are expected to arrive in the country to assist the Ghana police in search of the 3 girls. This comes in the wake of mounting calls for the Criminal Investigation Department of the Police Service to prioritize investigations into the kidnapping to ensure speedy rescue of the victims. Meanwhile, the Director General of the CID, Deputy Commissioner of Police Mami Tiwa Adadankwa herself, also visited the families of the kidnapped victims with assurances the police service is not resting on its oars to locate the girls.
To the central region next, where many communities in the Asin South District are faced with the challenge of getting access to potable water. The residents say this is affecting their health as there is an increase in waterborne diseases. Now, the Ghana Heritage Conservation Trust, co-managers of the Kakum National Park, are determined to reverse the trend. Richard Kwejunyako has the rest of this story in this report.
Many communities in the Asan South District of the Central Region continue to drink from unhygienic sources. There are reports of increase in waterborne diseases in the area, and this is said to be threatening the health of the people here. Many share their water with animals, while human activities have destroyed many water sources here. Thankfully, communities around the Kakum National Park have a reprieve. The Ghana Heritage Conservation Trust, co-managers of the Kakum National Park, provided an intervention for one of such communities, Asan Mismago, to put to an end the challenges with water. Isidoni Ama is the executive director of the Ghana Heritage Conservation Trust.
Any community with poor water systems is vulnerable to an outbreak of water-related diseases and underdevelopment. If communities have access to quality drinking water, the people will be healthy, economic activities will be improved, and wealth will be created. The provision of access to quality drinking water for communities is so huge that the government alone cannot shoulder that responsibility. It is in light of this that NGOs, CSOs, donor agencies, and philanthropists must contribute to delivering access to this need and other community initiatives to partner communities in Ghana.
The Kakum National Park, that falls under the management of the Ghana Heritage Conservation Trust, has set up a community advisory committee headed by the Omahini of Ogwa Traditional Area, Osabrema Kwesiata II. The task of the committee is to identify and advise the organization on projects that ought to be executed for communities that surround the Kakum National Park for keeping faith with them. The organization says the Community Advisory Committee has identified many projects that has received approval and will be executed in due course. Richard Kwejunyako, JoyNews, Cape Coast.
Now let's move to the Ashanti region, and government is being urged to upscale local content reading materials to enable students to relate more to their immediate environment. Sociologist Professor Divine Ahaji says though international perspective is crucial, dominance of foreign literature in the country's libraries needs to be looked at exclusively. Love FM's Kwesi Debra has more in this report.
Government late last year relaunched the mobile van library services in all 10 regions. Students on the double-track system in particular were targeted. Professor Haji says readers can benefit more if content of the books reflect the country's culture.
And that is where I want to appeal to the government to take a strong look at local writers in terms of publishing, so that if there are any incentives that can be given to writers for us to upscale reading materials such as local content, so that when the students or people read, they can relate it to their surroundings. Of course, the international dimension is very important, but the local setting will also make more meaning to what they read. And I think this is where it will be good for the government to come in strongly and ensure that writers are able to focus their minds on that.
Meanwhile, Ayeduasi Roman Catholic School near Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has received gift of books and other educational materials. The gesture by US-based Ghanaian philanthropist Eunice Owusu, herself an old student, is to augment the library materials. She also donated packs of plywood for ceiling of the teachers' common room to relieve them of excessive heat.
So he came up an idea, of donating book and other school materials. I thought about it. It was a good idea. So while I was in the U.S., I searched and looked and found every educational materials. I came up with computer, chairs, and books.
Head teacher Joseph Suglo appeals to government to subsidize import charges on educational materials.
Our research has shown that 90% of our kids are not able to read properly before they leave. So we started something working on their reading. So these books have also come at the right time. So we are grateful to them. In fact, the first time they came, we also talked about computers. My information is that they were bringing the computers too, but it's like the duty was so high that they had to probably shelve that one for now. We're just pleading that with the authorities that if they can do something about the duties, so that things like educational materials like this can come in at a reduced cost to help the children.
Reporter for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
Now, many Ghanaians and other persons who hire the services of lawyers complain about neglect, procrastination, and other acts that amount to misconduct of the professionals. Majority of them are disadvantaged members of society whose interests are adversely affected with little or no avenue for redress. These are the sentiments expressed by a Deputy Attorney General and Deputy Minister for Justice, Godfred Yeboah Dame. He said this at the maiden roll call of law students of the law faculty at Presbyterian University College campus in Kumasi. Here's what Prince Apia learned.
At the maiden roll call of law students of the law faculty at the Presbyterian University College campus in Kumasi, Deputy Attorney General, who doubles as the Deputy Minister for Justice, Godfred Yeboah Dame, to promptly report lawyers that misconduct themselves to the General Legal Counsel for action.
There's a need for the public to also play a role by promptly reporting incidents of excesses on the part of lawyers and abuses of their rights and whatever. And of course, such complaints must be promptly addressed and necessary measures inflicted. It's only through inculcation of discipline and proper ethics and virtues into the students, as well as the scrutiny of the conduct of lawyers by General Legal Counsel, that we can stamp out indiscipline.
The 2018-2019 academic year saw admission of 66 students, out of which only 10 are females. Mr. Yeboah Dame observes the increasing number of universities running the LLB program is affecting the quality of lawyers in recent times. He observes a poorly trained lawyer is a danger to society and a threat to the sustenance of our democracy as a nation. Mr. Yabo Adame prescribes a relationship between the regulation of the LLB program and that of the professional course.
For now, there are two means of regulating the theory, which is the LLB program, and regulation of the professional law program. Whereas the professional law program is regulated by the General Legal Council, the LLB program is regulated by the National Accreditation Board. That is why there has been the accreditation of so many faculties, and that is improper. I think there must be a uniform way addressing it so that the General Legal Council is properly seized with determining accreditation for running of LLB programs as well as professional law programs. The nation needs many lawyers, but at the same time, you must preserve quality.
President of the university, Reverend Professor Emmanuel Adoobeng, advised the students to desist from prioritizing funerals and other social events at the expense of academic work.
In this country, on Saturdays, you have people going to one event or the other. Either you go to a funeral, you go to a wedding, you go to a naming ceremony. There is one thing or the other for you to do on a Saturday. So the advice I was giving them is that they need to begin to prioritize these things. The fact that they are on this program will mean that they are going to lose friends because they will not have time to socialize with their friends anymore. They will not have time to spend hours on WhatsApp so that they can have time to concentrate on the core business of studying law in this university.
Prince Apia reporting.
And before we go, Upper West Regional Commander of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Harry Atambungere, has urged personnel of the nation's Builders Corps to dedicate themselves selflessly to the service of Ghana. He noted that for them to be successful on the job, they need to ultimately display a high sense of discipline and integrity by pushing their personal interests aside. Mr. Atambungere made the statement at the graduation of 116 personnel in WA.
Government introduced the Nation Builders Corps, NAPCO, with the aim of creating employment avenues and opportunities for young graduates from accredited tertiary institutions to enhance the dignity and self-esteem of the country's graduates, as well as present them with other benefits of efficiency and effectiveness in the delivery of some essential public services. 100,000 unemployed graduates were therefore inducted to assist in the country's public sector delivery needs and also address the dreary graduates' unemployment that pose security threat to the nation. The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority is one of the public institutions in the country benefiting from the NAPCO. 116 personnel were therefore posted to the Upper West region, which also included some parts of the Northern region. Upper West Deputy Commander of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Customs Division, Emmanuel Kwasi Dokpoi, has welcomed the move with open arms as it will enhance their work on the surveillance of the country's borders.
Our land borders from Kunchoko through Tumu, Gulu to Hamile is very vast. And as at now, our numbers are not encouraging or permitting us to effectively patrol these borders. So we've introduced them to these operational areas, and we've introduced them to our patrol and border checkpoints where they will be deployed. And we've also introduced them to our river borders from Hamile right down to Bole.
Before they could get to work, they first had in-service training for them where they were trained on the ethics of the profession.
From a number which is about 180, about more than 60 of them have either withdrawn or have gone back to the district assemblies or the domestic state revenue division. But those who have endured, those who have shown the ability to be customs officers, you can see it in them. They have the zeal, they have the morale, and they have the ability to learn, and that is what customs want.
As a paramilitary institution, the personnel for the past weeks have gone through drills to make them fit for the job. Speaking on behalf of the Upper West Regional Commander of the GRA Customs Division at a graduation ceremony held for the personnel, Principal Revenue Officer Jonathan Aneman advised them to work with their heart than looking for quick money, which he said is the quickest way of destroying their future.
The motive, the prime motive, should not be to make quick money. You will not find a place with this prestigious institution. GADA is looking up to you to help finance programs and activities of the government, and for which reason you must align your self-interest with the collective interest of Ghana Revenue Authority and, for that matter, Customs Division as an institution.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Now, you see a lot of young people in there. We wish them the best as they are with the Customs Division of the GRA. And, you know, many young people also get married. So one of the issues we'll be looking at this morning is the Church of Pentecost directive to its branches and to all members that, you know, those pre-wedding shots that are usually circulated, telling you to save the dates, and sometimes the styles that are mimicked or simulated in those pictures. If they are of sensual nature, yeah. If they are of sensual nature, the Church of Pentecost and its leadership, they have a difficulty with it.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, it just brings back the question of whether secularism is taking over the church.
Yeah. I don't know, Kojo, whether we're permitted to show some of the ones that we're describing so that viewers will know. I'm sure that when we're ready for it, we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do. Yes.
Now,
yes, there's an example.
There's another one we've put on the page currently. If we can get access to it, also, like this one.
Can you imagine?
How can you save a date for this? How?
My God.
What is this?
What exactly is the
save
message
the date,
being
Captain
conveyed
Cosina. Where's Eva? How? Look at what they are doing.
Well,
this is what
this
the
was
Church
in
of Pentecost frowns upon.
I wonder how Captain Cosina and Eva's marriage is going right now. I'm sure they are still having fun on the beach.
It's at the Army Mess. Even took place at the Army Mess. This one is not bad.
Yeah.
There were a couple of them as well. Charlie, by yourself, what do you think about it as an ardent viewer of the AM show and the rest of the channel? But let's take a look at it as well.
Right after the newspaper review.